If you've ever Googled best time to visit Colorado, you've asked the wrong question. Because the truth is, there isn't one perfect season. Summer has the most access, fall has the best vibes, winter feels the most local, and spring is a wild card everyone forgets. The real question is, what kind of traveler are you? In this video, we're breaking down the Pikes Peak region by season, but not to crown a winner. Instead, we'll show you the pros, the trade-offs, and who each season is actually best for so you can plan a trip that fits your travel style, not just your calendar. When it comes to outdoor adventure, every season in the Pikes Peak region offers a completely different experience. Summer is when the region feels fully unlocked. Longer days and warm weather open the door to high-energy, outdoor-focused experiences. Broadmoor Outfitters and Echo King and River expeditions really shine in the summer, whether you're rafting, ziplining, or just spending as much time outside as possible. It's also a great season to explore places like Garden of the Gods Trading Post, wander through historic Manitou Springs, or take a break from the heat with activities like the Maine Natural History Museum and the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame. Summer gives you the widest range of options, but it also brings the biggest crowds. Fall is all about experience and atmosphere. Cool temperatures make outdoor activities more comfortable, which is why we often recommend fall for horseback tours at Academy riding stables, guided experiences with Adventures Out West, and a trip to Flying W Ranch's Chuck Wagon Dinner and Western Stage Show. Historic attractions also stand out this time of year, with fall being our favorite for visiting the town of Cripple Creek and taking a ride on the Cripple Creek and Victor Narrow Gauge Railroad, thanks to the colorful leaves that completely transform the scenery. Fall is also a great time to beat the summer crowds with a drive up Pikes Peak, America's Mountain. Winter shifts the focus, but there's still plenty to do. Iconic experiences like the Broadmoor and Pikes Peak Cog Railway operate year-round and feel extra special after a snowfall, while the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center is a go-to for wildlife viewing. Many lower elevation hikes still remain accessible. Indoor attractions like the Ghost Town Museum, Iron Springs Chateau Melodrama, Miramont Castle, and the Space Foundation Discovery Center round out winter days nicely. Spring is when the region really starts to blossom, and it's a favorite season for locals who want access without peak crowds. Water features like the Broadmoor Seven Falls are especially impressive with spring runoff, and wildlife viewing at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo is fantastic as animals become more active. Spring is also a great time for attractions like Cave of the Winds Mountain Park, Manitou Cliff Dwellings, and even day trips to the Royal Gorge Bridge and Park. It's a season that rewards flexibility. Now, it's worth saying many of these attractions can be enjoyed in multiple seasons, especially spring through fall, with the main wildcard being winter. Some attractions close seasonally, and others may pause operations momentarily during snowstorms or extreme conditions. A handful are only open in the summer months, so it's always a good idea to check current hours and seasonal availability at pikes-peak.com when planning your trip. Now let's get into crowds, cost, and overall pace of the season. Summer is obviously the busiest and most expensive time to visit. Hotels fill faster, popular attractions sell out, and trailheads can feel crowded, especially on weekends. Fall offers a comfortable middle ground with lighter crowds, softened costs, and an easygoing energy that still keeps the city lively. Winter is the quietest season. Tourism slows way down, which means better availability, lower prices, and a calmer pace overall. Spring feels similar to winter in terms of crowds, but with more energy returning. You get a breathing room without the peak season rush. Weather in the Pikes Peak region doesn't just affect what you can do, it completely changes what the landscape looks like. Summer gives you the biggest, boldest views of the year. Trails, scenic drives, and high elevation areas are fully accessible, which means you can reach overlooks and viewpoints that aren't always an option in other seasons. Visibility is often incredible in the mornings, with wide open mountain backdrops, deep blue skies, and layers of ridgelines stretching for miles. Fall is all about color. Slightly cooler temperatures make outdoor exploring more comfortable, and views transform as aspen groves turn bright yellow against dark green pines and red rock formations. Scenic drives become a highlight, and even familiar trails feel completely different. The weather is generally very mild, but the season is short. Those colors don't last long, which makes fall feel extra special. Winter can be absolutely magical. Snow-dusted red rocks, frosted trees, and white-capped peaks create some of the most striking scenery of the year. The contrast between snow and sandstone is something you really can't experience in many places. While temperatures are colder, getting below freezing at times, sunny winter days are really common, reaching into the high 60s. Spring can be the most unpredictable, but visually it's a season of change. You often get short bursts of snow or rain that pass quickly, followed by surprisingly warm t-shirt weather afternoons. As the season progresses, everything starts turning green again. Early blossoms appear, trees fill back in, and the region feels like it's waking up after winter. Views shift week by week, which makes spring feel dynamic and fresh. If events shape your travel experience, season makes a big difference. Summer is packed with festivals, outdoor concerts, and high-energy, family-friendly events, especially around iconic happenings like the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, when engines echo up the mountain, and the Labor Day liftoff, where dozens of hot air balloons fill the skyline at sunrise. Fall leans into a seasonal charm. Farmers markets, harvest festivals, and Halloween events take center stage. Manitou Springs gets especially lively during the Emma Crawford coffin races, and families love fall favorites like Boo at the Zoo. Winter is quieter, but it has its own magic. Events like the Cripple Creek Ice Festival transform the streets into an outdoor art gallery of ice sculptures, and the Royal Gorge Bridge of Lights turns an iconic landmark into a glowing holiday display. Add in museums, indoor attractions, and seasonal performances, and winter feels intimate and uniquely local. Spring is traditional but brings fresh energy. Community events like the St. Patrick's Day Parade and Earth Day celebrations mark the return of warmer weather, blooming landscapes, and the start of spring break travel. Living like a local versus being a visitor is where winter and summer in the Pikes Peak region feel worlds apart. Summer feels like a destination, everything is open, busy, and buzzing. Winter feels more like everyday life, with fewer visitors in town and a slower overall pace across trails, restaurants, and attractions. Fall and spring sit in between, giving you a mix of access and authenticity. If you're a thrill seeker or first-timer, summer gives you the most options. If you want great weather with fewer crowds, fall is hard to beat. If you love quiet travel, museums, local vibes, winter is your season. And if you're flexible and love hidden gems, spring is your time of year. So when is the best time to visit the Pikes Peak region? It's not about the calendar, it's about you. Whether you're chasing peak season adventure, quieter trails, fall colors, winter magic, or that in-between sweet spot, every season here offers a completely different experience. None of them are wrong, you just have to pick the one that matches how you like to travel. If you're planning a trip and still not sure when to come, drop a comment below. Tell us what you're into. Outdoor adventure, family-friendly attractions, museums, food, or avoiding crowds. And we'll help you dial in the perfect time to visit. For more travel tips, itineraries, and must-see things to do, hit the subscribe button below, and we'll see you in the next adventure.